There he is. That's the guy. He was poking around downstream from one of our dump sites in Peru. American guy. Gringo. One day, one of the local kids got bit by a stray dog. Our guy shows up, give the kid a blue mushroom he'd foraged. Wound, gone. Kid's healed. Instantly. He was stirring up trouble, this guy. We thought we got rid of him. That crash he was in, no one should have survived.
Except Marshall Cuso.
That's it? That's the story?
Yep.
What do you want me to do here? Tell the National Security Council? I already told the DEA, they're handling it.
Oh, Cecily. I'm here in Washington. I'm not meeting senators. I'm not seeing my old friend, the president. I'm meeting you. We put you in the administration because we thought you knew how to be useful. We hoped that you'd be more supportive. Cecily, we share mutual interests.
Jonas, I was assured they put their two best agents on it, Capano and Harrington.
And yet, they failed to apprehend them. I'm not sure you understand how serious this is. Connor here works for Reutical Pharmaceuticals. You don't think this has implications? Connor, show her.
I keep one on me at all times since I saw what it can do.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty impressive.
If this mushroom gets out, it would be the single greatest destabilizing force the world has ever seen. We've already begun clearing the valley, but if it's escaped...
I'll call the DEA right now. 24/7 stakeouts, whatever it takes.
Cecily, I've decided to supplement your efforts. I'm putting some of my own people on Mr. Marshall.
Jonas, don't tell me anything I don't want to know.
This is the most dangerous man in the world. And we need to get this situation under control before it gets out of hand.
Oh, man. So, Marshall Cuso, the most dangerous man in the world. Give me 1 second. I'm going to... Okay. So, wow. Wow. Tell me that if you didn't see that scene, if you happen to see that scene in isolation, that you wouldn't watch the shit out of this show. All right? So that guy with the accent is Jonas. Jonas the Wolf is his nickname. That is played by, want to get the name, Danny. I'm not sure if it's Huston or Huston, Huston. I'm gonna accompany his name here with a picture, and you'll be able to recognize him. Incredibly compelling voice, incredibly compelling character. The accent somehow works because I don't know, maybe they were trying to go for somebody who, has a tone of voice in which the concept of empathy no longer applies to him. He is the big bad. He is as bad as you think he is. He is absolutely ruthless, pretty much about the entire thing up until the end, and I'm going to explain that here in a second. You know what? Let's go into it. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the show and if you want to be obviously surprised by everything, feel free to step out, watch the show, come back and whatever, but consider this your warning. So Jonas is the big bad pretty much throughout, is one of the biggest bad throughout the entire season, right up until the end, in which he gets diagnosed with an incurable disease, and he needs that mushroom that they are talking about in order to survive, in order to be cured of his disease. But let's backtrack a little bit about what the story is about, right? Because that in and of itself is incredibly compelling. Marshall Cuso is a essentially funny-looking dude who is a brilliant dude who invented a mushroom, or didn't invent a mushroom, who discovered more than anything else a shroom, a fungi, if you will, that cures everything. Pause for effect. Everything. Okay? And they are essentially, in the show, definitely the whole thing about the show is trying to contend with that and trying to figure out, how much of a disruption would it be to the big pharma industry if there was this one shroom that this one guy had that could cure everything and disrupt everything. And well, basically, that is what the season is about. And then eventually they have greenlit a season 2, and I'm just so fascinated and curious to see where it's all going to go. But in this season 1, everyone experienced a full arc. You had CEO Rick realize how badly the whole thing was rigged. So CEO Rick, if you can remember from the last clip, he eventually is all about, oh man, this mushroom, let's get it out to the masses and we'll become absolutely filthy fucking rich from doing it. And unfortunately, Jonas and Big Pharma stop him from doing that, because they know that if this particular mushroom reaches the market in mass, that then Big Pharma would be out of business. And he was so disillusioned by what happened. The fact that even them as a company making millions upon millions and potentially billions of dollars prevented them, they prevented him from doing it, because the whole industry in and of itself, the whole ecosystem that they have created, Big Pharma has created for itself, would die and disappear, and therefore they stopped CEO Rick from bringing this particular mushroom to market. And he was so disillusioned by it that he eventually kind of goes off on his own with Francis in order to potentially try to recreate the mushroom, but obviously has a lot of difficulty doing it because he doesn't have Marshall and he doesn't have his turtle, because the turtle is actually the key, or at least the feces of the turtle is actually the key, because the substrate is essentially what creates the mushroom. Watch the show, just you'll get it. And then going back, Marshall realizes the shroom has terrible side effects, because obviously nothing, as much as we want to think that there can be this thing that the environment creates that just happens to cure everything and cure all of our ailments, but it is not without consequences. And the consequences in this case is that the side effects are a psychotic break. People literally have a psychotic break from either taking this too much or taking the wrong dose, and people go crazy. And that's what Marshall discovers, and he kind of wants to slow things down, but some of his partners do not, and obviously that's when shit hits the fan. Frances, the girl, you saw a little bit of a clip of her, the girl, she couldn't sell her soul to corporate America and eventually finds her way back to kind of Marshall, but they do have this kind of roller coaster ride, not necessarily of any kind of attraction to each other, but then their friendship kind of has this roller coaster ride, because she betrays Marshall because there was a point in time in which she decided to go with corporate America with the whole thing. And then Jonas, as I mentioned before, Jonas gets hit with an incurable disease, and he ends up finding a good batch of the mushrooms in order to cure himself, but he takes so much of it that he goes into a full-on psychotic break. So, I mean, he is in a pretty catatonic state by the end of it. You'd have to kind of see the picture of him. He is the one person that more than anybody did not get out well of this season 1. Yeah, most of the characters experience like a turn of some kind, and the show is political. It is very political, but it is not partisan, right? And I'm not giving it kudos for not being partisan, but it definitely had something to say. And full disclosure, it speaks so accurately about an industry that is sustained by managing the disease and not curing it, right? And it doesn't matter what your ideology is, what your political belief is, what anything, your immigration status, none of it matters. If like a particular disease comes for you, it's not going to ask you about, are you this, that, and the other. And that message reaches all across America. That message to every person. And obviously, with Mike Judge and Greg Daniels, I'm not, like they're being the King of the Hill guys, and kind of that identifiable, I don't know, middle America voice, if you will, or I don't want to speak too much for them, but the point is that it really identifies with pretty much everyone across the board. Healthcare, big pharma, and I truly believe that is absolutely one of the reasons why this story is so compelling, because people can identify with being screwed over by healthcare bills, right? Final thoughts. The show is thrilling. It's like, as I mentioned before, it's accessible, it's political, but it's not partisan, and it just really focused on a layered truth with a clear bad guy, right? Which is Jonas in this case. Jonas is every healthcare and drug lobby that exists, the man behind the CEO who is doing the machinations, pulling the strings, and obviously government has a role in it, and you do have DEA agents that are kind of like a little bit of the do-gooders in this scenario who want to do good, but they're confronted by the reality of big pharma's got their tentacles in everything. And again, yet another thing that people can say, yeah, I absolutely believe that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this talk back. I'm probably going to have to figure out a way to cut this, or maybe not, maybe just post the whole thing. But when I get really into a show like this is usually when it has resonated with me the most. So once again, shout out to the creators of Common Side Effects. You guys did an unbelievable job, and I can't wait for season 2. Peace out.